Welcome back to a quick geometry practice. We're going to learn two good rules. The first one is for 45, 90 triangle. So this is 90 degree. Since it's 45, we know it's a isosceles right triangle. So if this is 5 units, this also is 5 units. Now, question is, what is the length of the hypotenuse? Of course, based on your previous knowledge, you definitely can use a square plus b squared equals c squared. And the length of c is square root a squared plus b squared. But today, we're going to introduce a super simple and easy to use rule. The rule says this: in a 45, 90 triangle, if this side is x, we're going to color it yellow, and this side is also x, we're going to color it yellow, and we're going to color the hypotenuse blue in this rule example. And the hypotenuse is always the leg length times square root 2. Therefore, if I were going to write it in words, I'm going to write like this: leg times square root 2 is hypotenuse. That's it. Now, I'm going to erase this rule and come here solve this problem really quickly. Leg times square root 2 is hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is 5 square root 2. All right, let's try again. What if the length is, what if the length is square root 2? Now, what is hypotenuse? Okay, the length of the leg is square root 2. So square root 2 times square root 2, that is the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is 2. That's it. All right, let's introduce another rule. This rule is for another special right triangle called 30, 60, 90. (30°, 60°. All right, we're going to use a few examples, then we're going to talk about the rule. So, if the hypotenuse is 2, the short leg is half of the hypotenuse. Half of 2, that is 1. The long leg, this green one, is short leg times square root 3. So 1 times square root 3. That's square root 3. That's it. All right, let's try again. If the hypotenuse blue is 10, short leg is always half of hypotenuse. Half of 10, that's 5. Green long leg is always a short leg times square root 3. So 5 square root 3. Now that we have practiced a couple rounds, I think we can write down the rule. The rule says this: short leg is 1/2 of hypotenuse. In this way, you can say hypotenuse is 2 times of the length of the short leg. Usually we use letter A, right? So because it's A, B, C. Okay? All right. Now, let's talk about the relationship between long leg and short leg. Short leg times square root 3, that is long leg. Okay? That's written in words. Now, we're going to write them down in symbols and numbers. So, if the short leg is x, units. Hypotenuse is double it, 2x. Long leg is short leg times square root 3. So times square root 3. All done. Alright, we're going to leave this rule here. Shall we practice one more? So we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. This is, how about this is square root 2? I know a lot of you don't like radicals, but you know what? If we can make our weakness become stronger, we really become stronger. All right. Now, so square root 2, I want to find the hypotenuse. I'm going to double it. This is easy fix. I want to find the long leg. And I need to use short leg times square root 3, right? So short leg times square root 3. Okay, so what is the square root 2 times the square root 3? Pause, think. Did you have square root 6? It is. All right, that is all about the special rule for our very special right triangle, 45, 45, 90, 30, 60, 90. Happy learning.